Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Truth or Consequences. My name is RoseAnn Gilmer, and tonight we're going to continue our discussion on depression and anxiety and vitamins and all of that. But what I'm going to do tonight is share a secret with everybody. This juicing has been done by health fanatics for 100 years. However, it's really only become a craze in the last, I'd say, 10 years, 15 years at the most. Now, and what juicing does is, juicing is a way to get all of these raw vegetables and fruits, okay, even though you do not really juice them together, just a couple of exceptions. I'll talk about that later. But this is the easiest way to get these raw vitamins and minerals into your body. And what happens when you juice, okay, as opposed to like having a smoothie where you put a whole bunch of stuff in a blender and yogurt and fruit and all this protein and whatever else all these people put in, okay, and then you whip that up together, well, what happens is your body has to digest that, okay? And those can be tremendously filling. So, you know, it's nice to have those as a meal, but they don't really do what juicing does. And what juicing does is it takes all the insoluble fiber out of the vegetables and the select fruits that you use, unless you're juicing fruit, all right? And it goes right into your bloodstream, okay? When you're drinking a vegetable juice, it's really important that you swish it around your mouth. They actually want you to chew it, because what that does is activate your digestive enzymes. And then what happens is when you juice, especially when you're juicing vegetables, it's too much for your body. It's too concentrated, so you have to break it down with something like, you know, carrots or celery or cucumbers, something that has a lot of water content and will lighten up the juice. When you're making a juice, at the most, you want to use like a quarter of your juice should be like straight greens, okay? Because when you juice, it's totally different when you juice greens and then when you juice carrots, or if you juice cucumbers and celery, because everything has different water contents. And when we talk about juicing, there's two different kinds of juicers. Now, if you were someone that was fighting cancer, I would totally recommend that you get the Masticating juicer, which are clearly more expensive than the Centrifuge, okay? But what happens in the Masticating one, it doesn't get as hot, okay? And what happens is it's able to get more of the juice out of the greens. When I juice after this video, you'll see, I'm going to just juice some kale so you can see how you get almost nothing, okay? But then I'm going to show you how we juice celery with it, and celery just like adds so much volume to your juice. But you need the kale, okay? Because everything has different vitamins. Most of them are B's, you know that, and that's what your body is looking for every single day. And if you find it hard to get these raw vegetables into your body, juicing is by far the most simple way. It only takes a minute. It's so fast, especially if you have a centrifuge juicer like I do. These are the high spinning ones, and it's like, I'm telling you, in 3 minutes, you're done. And you've got your juice, okay? Now the thing about the juice is that you need to be drinking it right after you make up. I've seen so many videos where they want to put it in the freezer, or they want to put it in the refrigerator and drink it later on. Well, I'm telling you, those enzymes are dead after 15 minutes, all right? And that's the reason that you're juicing, to get these enzymes, these natural enzymes that you can't get anywhere else in nature, into your body so they can heal your body. because that's where they'll go. That nutrition will go straight to every cell that is damaged and needs help. So, and what happens, like I said, you need to juice on an empty stomach, all right? But you also need to juice, what happens when you juice is that it goes straight to your bloodstream, all right? It's really important. Like, I have a really bad stomach, so it's really nice that, if I had to digest all that stuff, I can't even combine certain things, like, it's just ridiculous, especially when my stomach acts up, but that's my own fault because I know my stomach needs probiotics every day, and if we could all just wrap our brains around healing our stomachs first, everything else will follow. Like when I talked about chewing the juice, especially vegetable juice, all right, what happens is your body, your body doesn't necessarily absorb the nutrients that are in the foods that we ingest. So, and like I said, it all depends on the condition of your intestines, of your stomach, on whether or not your body can pull out the nutrients that it needs to out of your foods. And when your stomach, like mine, can be in trouble, I'm telling you, I know I don't get any nutrition because things just don't get digested right. So, and that's another one of my serious problems, is that I do not chew, okay? You need to chew because digestion starts in your mouth. It's so important. I'm telling you, it's just not even right how fast I eat. And that just adds to the pain and the gas that I get after I eat, almost everything. And half of my problem is that I wait until I'm absolutely starving to eat, and then I inhale my food. It's just not right. And that just adds to my stomach problems. And then when I do that, and I don't chew my food, there are no teeth in your stomach, okay? My stomach isn't gonna try to digest those big hunks that I just swallowed. So you can't get the nutrition out of it, and all you get is pain. That's what I get pain. But anyway, so let's do this video. I wanna show this video, and then we will juice, okay? This is an old book, this is the Juice Man, but they're all the same, and believe me, the further back you go, the better the information is, all right? And we'll talk about why I'm doing what we're doing, when I'm doing it. So let's just watch this. Let's see, where is it? Up there. Let's bring it over here, and I'll be back.
Hey guys, it's Danny. Now, recently I've been getting some questions from you guys about juicing. You want to know, why do people juice? What are the benefits of juicing? Should you be juicing? So today I wanted to answer those questions and a few more, and I'm going to cover it all in my clean and delicious Juicing 101. So what exactly does the term juicing mean? Well, when you make a juice, what you're doing is you are squeezing all of the juice out of your produce and then discarding the pulp, which is the insoluble fiber. So really, a juice is the water and most of the nutrients that are in the plant. Now, if you were making a smoothie or blending your drink, then what you would be doing is pulverizing the produce, and you would include all of the fiber. So you would have a really rich, thick, hearty drink. However, the benefits of juicing and removing that pulp is that your body doesn't have to do all the work of breaking down and digesting all that fiber. So it's much easier for your body to immediately absorb all of the nutrients and the enzymes that were in the produce. Think of it like this. It's a fast track way for your body to get nutrients into those cells. So it's a really easy, convenient, tasty way of getting more fruits and veggies into your system. And while I think juicing and blending are both worth incorporating into your clean and delicious lifestyle, I think juicing is especially powerful for anybody who is tired, stressed, sick, or feels some kind of cold coming on, or just plain and simply worn down. Because like I said before, really it's just a quick boost of nutrients into the body. Now, if juicing is something that you are thinking about doing at home, then you're going to have to get yourself a juicer, which is definitely a bit of an investment in both time and money, but unless you live in or near a major city, I think it's pretty tricky to get your hands on good, high quality juice. So if you are on the market for a juicer, I'm gonna try to cover some of the things you need to know before you make your purchase. Now, the first thing you need to decide is whether you want a centrifugal juicer or a masticating juicer. Centrifugal juicers tend to be less expensive, but they're also a little bit less efficient and a little bit noisier. Basically what they do is they work at a high speed and they have a spinning motion, and that spinning motion grinds the produce to a pulp and forces the juice away from the pulp. A masticating juicer, on the other hand, is more versatile but also tends to be more expensive. But not only does it make juice, you can also use it to make things like baby food, pasta, and nut butters. Now, what I have over here is the Green Star Elite Juice Extractor, and this is a masticating juicer that's known for its twin jumbo gears. And what those gears do is that they literally knead and grind the produce. So if you think about it, it works the same exact way your mouth works, your teeth work when they're chewing food. Same concept. Plus, the masticating juicers tend to be more efficient because they get more juice away from the pulp. So at the end of the day, we're using less produce. And one more thing that I think is extremely important to note, the masticating juicers are much better at juicing dark leafy greens. And in my opinion, the whole point of making yourself some fresh juice is to get in those dark leafy greens. The masticating juicers, they also work at a lower speed and there's no spinning motion. So they tend to be less messy and quite a bit quieter. And what I really like about this one is that it has a low RPM, which means the rate that it grinds up the food. It's a slow, constant pressure. And that's a positive because when they go too fast and they go too high, the machine gets hot. And if the machine gets hot, it's gonna kill some of the enzymes in your juice. So you wanna look for a juicer that has a nice low RPM. For instance, this one goes at 110 RPM. Some of the juicers can go as high as 2000 RPM. And then a few other things I would consider before buying a juicer is how noisy is the juicer? How easy or difficult is it to clean up and take apart and put back together? And do you have a place to store it? Now, when it comes to making fresh homemade juice, I want you guys to focus on your vegetables because studies actually show that fructose, which is the primary sugar in fruit juice, promotes insulin resistance and heart disease. Now, that's not the same if you are eating fresh fruit because number one, it still has the fiber content, and number two, you're not going to eat the same amount of fruit that you would need to go into a glass of fruit juice. So, bottom line here, we want to focus on our vegetables and then use yummy low sugar fruits like an apple to sweeten and round out the flavor of your juice. So I'm gonna make a green juice and walk you guys through the process. So the first thing that I do is I wash and I prep all of the produce I'm gonna be using to make my juice. So today I've got a nice big handful of fresh parsley, 3 leaves of kale, 1 green apple, 1 whole cucumber, and then just a couple small chunks of ginger. This is one of my favorite combos for making a fresh green juice. As for my juicer, I put the drip tray underneath. Then on top of that, I've got my pitcher that's gonna catch the fresh squeezed juice. And then under here, I put a little bowl because this spout right here, that's where all of the pulp comes out of. Then once I have everything ready to go, I'm going to plug my juicer in. This juicer actually has a detachable cord, which I like because it makes it easier to store. And then I remove the safety tray lid. And you'll see that there's the chute right there. That's where all of the produce is gonna go. So once I've got everything ready to go, I'm gonna turn on my juicer. You can hear that it's pretty quiet for a juicer. And then I'm gonna grab a few of my kale leaves, roll them up, and then stick them right into the chute. Now right away I can feel that the gears down there, they kind of pull it in and they start grinding it up. But I also have these 2 plungers to help with pushing the produce down. So this plastic one only goes so far down, it won't hit the gears, and it helps to kind of assist the food go down. But you also have this wooden one, which is awesome because this one is long enough to go all the way down to the gears, so you can push the produce all the way in there, but it won't hurt the gears and the gears won't hurt it. So it's like you've got two little extra helping hands. So I'm gonna finish up my kale. Then next up, I'm gonna throw in my ginger. The ginger gives it a little kick, plus it's really good for digestion and for circulation. I've got that cucumber, one whole cucumber. You always wanna use something like a cucumber or celery in these green juices because they have a high water content, so it helps to kind of dilute the intensity of the greens, plus they're really cool and refreshing. I've got fresh parsley, which has a lot of vitamin C, so it's a really good immunity booster. And then last but not least, I've got one sweet and tart green apple. I love the green apple because, like I said before, it's low sugar, but it also has a nice sweet tart flavor that helps round out the flavor of the juice. And you can see what's happening here. All the juice is coming down into the pitcher, and the pulp is coming out the spout into the bowl. Okay, so you guys can see now, all of that produce I had made about 1.5 cups of juice. And in this bowl, this was all of the leftover pulp from the produce. Now personally, I have yet to do anything with this yet, but I did read online that people will toss it into salads and soups and treat it just like a little extra fiber. And some people will even make raw crackers or a pizza crust with it. And then there are those that just give it to their dogs. So I'm curious, if you guys do this, what do you do with your extra pulp? Come on down to the comments below and please share the information with me and the rest of us. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this into my mason jar and give it a try. Ooh, it's so green. And that ginger really gives it a nice little kick. There's something about drinking green juice, I don't know if it's mental, but it just feels good. And guys, what I usually do when I'm juicing and I'm breaking out my juicer and getting into it, I always make more than I need in that moment because that's a huge time saver. And that's another thing I like about the Green Star is that it has a special technology in there that actually delays the oxidation process, so I can store the juice in my fridge for up to 3 days with minimal loss of the vitamins and the nutrients and the enzymes. Huge time saver. So guys, that is all of the basics you need to know when it comes to juicing. And like always, I am now curious to hear from you. Are you already juicing? Are you thinking about juicing? Do you have any other questions or thoughts when it comes to juicing? Or do you know some really good information that you need to share with me and our community here about juicing? If so, meet me down in the comments below and let's chat. Also guys, if you are interested in the juicer that I was using today,
So folks, if you are interested in the juicer that she was using today, that juicer cost $2,400. Now, that's a masticating juicer, okay? Did you hear how quiet it is? Did you see how dry the pulp is? All right, now, what that masticating juicer can do is get juice out of greens like nothing else. Not like this, I'm telling you. Now, what this is a centrifuge, okay? It's made by Hamilton Beach. I have had this juicer for 5 years and it works perfect still. And I believe it was $89. Now, like I said, if you're really sick, if you're fighting cancer, or you have money, please get the masticating juicer because that's the best one that there is. I had a champion juicer, which was a masticating juicer, okay? The thing, I swear to God, it weighed 70 pounds, okay? But they say it's the best one. And what I also want to bring to everyone's attention is when she was discussing the difference between a centrifuge juicer and a masticating juicer, She explained to you that it's all about the speed. Now this centrifuge juicer, as you will see when I turn this on, it's really loud, okay? It spins at a really high speed, and the spin produces heat. So that's why it's also, if you use this, important that you have everything prepared when so that you're ready to go, and you just turn that thing on and zing, and then you're done, okay? But what I have to tell you is, now she talks about keeping that juice in the refrigerator for 3 days. I'm telling you, within an hour, the enzymes are destroyed when you actually juice vegetables, okay? Now, and then you can also juice fruits, but you really don't mix fruits and vegetables unless the fruit is a lemon, okay, and an apple, okay? Now, when I want to talk about the apples, okay, she had a green apple. I want you to notice that she had a green apple. If I could have gotten a green apple, I would have a green apple. What you should be buying is organic Granny Smiths, okay? And then the reason for that is because green apples, okay, are filled with this substance called malic acid. And what it does, it helps all the vegetables release their nutrients so that your body can accept them. This is what I was talking about before. You have to do things so that your body works together with what you're trying to put into it. And I'm telling you folks, it starts in your stomach. All right, so, and please, when you go, any single bottled juice, anything that has been pasteurized, whether it's apple juice, green juice, okay, tomato juice, it doesn't matter what kind of juice it is. If it's been pasteurized and it's in a bottle with preservatives, okay, that means that it has been produced at extremely high heats, okay? That has no nutrition in it, folks. You're drinking water with sugar and that's it, okay? And that's every single bottled juice that is, and anything that's pasteurized has no nutritional value. Okay, so that is big to know. So that's why you need to juice. You need to juice orange juice or grapefruit juice. Guess what you juice? An orange or a grapefruit. Okay, that's the only way you get the nutrients from an orange or a grapefruit. Anything in a jar, a can, a box, even if it says organic orange juice. Okay, if it's been pasteurized, it's worth this much to your body. So I want to get started here. All right, now, this is the engine for my juicer, okay? It probably weighs 6 pounds, all right? They're heavy, all right? But these are really simple to put together. So, this is what takes the stuff that comes out of the juicer, okay? It all goes right into here. Now, this just sits on here. They're all put together a little differently, but they all are really easy to do. This part, this is the grinder, okay? This goes right in here. You can tell I just do a lot of carrot juice. Carrot juice stains everything. But it's the most awesome for you. It's the highest in beta carotene, okay? And what it does, it's a provitamin to vitamin A, and that's the only way your body cannot take. There's nothing that has vitamin A in it, but it's the #1 antioxidant, okay? And that you're gonna get from this. All right, I'm gonna put this on. You're gonna put the cover on. It's really simple. Oh, but now she had her stuff come in a bowl. This stuff can kind of shoot out all over the place. So what I do, and what they tell you to do, they suggest all these things, is just to put a plastic bag there so that all gets collected. Okay. Okay, we're ready to go. This is for the juice, this is for the stuff. Now, ginger. I have a piece of ginger, very important. I put ginger, a lemon, and an apple, okay? You can buy a Fiji apple if you can't get an organic Granny Smith. We're always talking about organic, okay? If it's not organic, like a lemon, you have to take the skin off of it, okay? But just do yourself a favor, please buy organic. I'm begging you. Anything that doesn't have a thick peel on it needs to be organic. You just cannot let yourself do that. Cannot. It's just not worth it. The chemicals are absolutely incredible that are on our foods. And then you have to make these pieces so that they will fit right into the juicer. With ginger, you can use a knife bar. It even works with a spoon. I just take at least a 1-inch piece, and it's really, really, really good for you, okay? All right, so we have apple, ginger. All right, the lemon. All right, this is not organic, so let me just show you how to just quickly pull these out. You cut it that way, all right, and then you just pop these out. If it's an organic lemon, then you can use the skin. But if it's not, don't put the skin on, and this isn't. But if you cut it this way, they pop right out. All right, so do a couple of celery stalks because celery adds volume, okay? I've washed all of this stuff and it's all organic except for that lemon. All right, carrots do not need to be peeled. What happened here? Ella will fix that while I just finish cutting these. So I'm just going to cut the ends off of this. Oh, it came back. It came back. I don't know what happened. It was at my waist, but thank you. All right, so just cut the ends off. Organic, like I said, carrots do not need to be peeled. And I'm going to do the kale separately, just so that you can see the little juice that comes out of greens. Okay, this is red kale, which is why it's really dark. But okay, so we have celery, carrots, apple.